Wollaton Hall, a beautiful 16th century Elizabethan mansion that's surrounded by hundreds of acres of history. To this day, Wollaton Hall is seen to be a great historic landmark to which tourists from all over come to visit. In 1549, Sir Henry Willoughby, the current owner of the Wollaton estate at the time, died whilst fighting in the Ket's Rebellion, leaving his children Thomas, Francis and Margaret Willoughby orphaned as they were still young. Because of Sir Henry's death, Thomas Willoughby would have claimed the whole of the Wollaton estate, but he died before so in 1559, leaving Francis Willoughby as the heir to the estate. As time went on, Francis Willoughby went on to claim the full possession of the Wollaton estate in 1564 and he was knighted in 1575. Then, in 1580, Sir Francis started work on a project to try and impress Queen Elizabeth in hopes that she would stay as his guest. This project was the construction of Wollaton Hall. The architect and overseer of the overall construction was a man called Robert Smithson. The mansion took a total of 8 years to be constructed, meaning that it was completed in the year 1588.
Well, that's called the Prospect Room. It's another rather strange anomaly of this building because it doesn't really serve any purpose at all. It's designed more to be seen from the outside than the inside. The only access is that spiral staircase. We actually have a lady that wears Elizabethan clothing and she can't even make it up that spiral staircase. There's no heating up there, no lighting, no toilets or anything. So it's a very beautiful room, but not a terribly practical room.
As Wollaton Hall is now owned by the Nottingham City Council, the park has become open to the public every day of the week with free access to the park and available tours of the hall itself. There are 2 different tours every day, with each one being available twice. The first tour takes you down to the kitchen and into the tunnels, whereas the other tour takes you to the prospect room and onto the roof. To get more information, I talked to Mick, who is a museum assistant and tour guide at Wollaton Hall. He explained more about the deers that live there and the gardens.
There's not a lot of information about deers, but what we can say, they've been here at least 700 years. They are English red deer. They are now trapped within the wall on the 600-acre estate, and they pretty well break off into 2 herds. There's 2 alpha males normally, and young males and females in both of the herds, and 1 or 2 lone alpha males as well that tend to wander about on their own. The 600-acre part that lies within the walls was landscaped around 1690s, 1700s, when landscaping became fashionable. Because prior to that, gardens were pretty well formal and very sort of rigid in concept. It was not until that period that landscaping and natural nature became what was popular, and that's what happened. That's when the lake was put in, for example. The lake's artificial, and it's meant to create the atmosphere of the English countryside.
Other than the historical part of the park and hall, a lot of people visit due to the events that are held at the park. The biggest event that the park hosts is a musical festival called Splendour. With names like UB40, Calvin Harris, Bananarama and Dizzy Rascal performing, it attracts people from all over the UK. With more events like Splendour and Armed Forces Day happening at Wollaton Park, we can only see a brighter future of the hall itself.
Blinks an eye and I look up to the sky for the path of a lightning bolt.